The Minority Caucus has attempted on a number of occasions to push through a motion to annul the action by the majority to set aside the rejection of the 2022 budget statement. The exercise of the discretion of the First Deputy Speaker, Joseph Oseus, who is acting in the absence of Speaker Alban Bagbin to dismiss the minority's filing of a substantive motion, has been a subject of controversy. Following the refusal of the First Deputy Speaker to admit the latest motion in question, the minority has served notice of a continuous challenge of the approval process of the 2022 budget statement when the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, returns from his medical leave. The Minority Chief Whip, Muhammad Muntaka Mubarak, has been engaging the media on the intent of the caucus's latest action.
We want to be able to be sure that we've exhausted all the avenues. Obviously, we are participating very actively in the committees during this estimate. And I can tell you, a lot of the ministries are already sweating. I mean, if people can choose to spend 32 million on conferences during COVID, they have to provide details. If one particular office can spend 1 billion, one office, I mean, we want details. And they are sweating already. So we are participating and holding their leg close to the fire to make sure that they account for every PESWA that was approved in 2021. But we do not want this thing to stand uncontested and exhaustive. Because when you allow it to stay, it becomes part of the rules of the House. We want to be sure that all avenues will be exhausted. Then we are certain that, oh, this is what we want to call as part of the proceedings of the House. Remember, I've always said, this House is run by three things: the Constitution, the standing orders, and our practice. So if we make this part of our practice, then we are all clear. So tomorrow, if the same thing is being played against another person, you cannot cry foul, because you have accepted that this is now the practice. The Speaker can do as he wish. I mean, where even it's so clear that there's bias, the Speaker can get away with it and order. When you allow it to be part of our practice, then we all know the consequences. I will let Ghanaians know. I've heard some people are saying they are praying against demonic MPs who are trying to do this. Lord, please, our concentration is to do our bit. And our bit is that we are holding government to account for its stewardship. We are saying that we will not allow you to waste our resources. Resources that have been given to you, account for them properly.
In the 2021 budget, over 45 million Ghana cedis was allocated for the construction of constituency offices for MPs. The project was to be rolled out over a 4-year period. Responding to questions on the floor of Parliament on the state of the projects, the Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu indicated that the project had not commenced.
I must concede that Parliament did not commence the construction of the facilities in 2021 as we envisaged, and it's not attributable to the Ministry of Finance not releasing the funds, but because of what we had to do preparatory to the award of the contracts, securing the parcels of land in the various constituencies and so on. So, indeed and in truth, we're not able to begin. And so we need now to factor into this next year's allocation. I'm not too sure we'll be able to carry the 2 tranches for on the back of the 2022 allocation. But certainly we must accommodate the outstanding ones, at least a portion of it, on the 2022 allocation, such that we will not do 70 as previously programmed for each year, but that we will be in a position to do more than 70. Perhaps at least a third of it, of the outstanding, should be added to the 2022.
The MP for Adentan, Mohammed Adamu Ramadan, who filed the question, tells Citi News he will follow through with his monitoring of the project execution for various reasons.
I think that it's important that all members of Parliament would have functional offices in their constituency. It was one of the things that I realized my predecessor didn't do or didn't have in the constituency. So when I was campaigning, I said that it was something I was going to do so that our constituents would know where to find their member of Parliament, so that if they needed to see him, they knew where to go and when to find him. So it's a reason. And that's why once nothing had started, I sought to ask from the minister what was happening with the Majority Leader. Even in the 2021 budget, there was a provision of 45.5 million Ghana cedis, which he said it was going to be ring-fenced. So I'm going to follow through and find out that allocation was done for 2021 and it wasn't utilized. So that money would be available for us to use again in 2022. So these are all things that I'd follow up, because I think it's important. So it doesn't have to be me. I'm not asking the question because I want an office in my constituency. I already have one, but except that it's rented. If we have an office for any member of parliament that comes in, it's very good.
The House also approved a €150 million contract for the construction of the scenic route between Manfe and Koforidua. Due to the budget estimate, sitting for the second day of sittings for this week has been pushed to 2 p.m. That is for Tuesday. Reporting for Citi News from Parliament, my name is Duke Mental Poku.